this is a method that's going to buck the trend a little bit, because so often anglers rock up, a bag of micros, some pellets. They might have some casters or some maggots on the tray, but usually it's all pellety based. It's pour them out of the bag, really easy fishing.
Yeah.
Bringing a bag of ground bait's not something that I always see anglers doing.
They think, oh, it's for the 2.5 foot in the edge, maybe on a feeder. But it's such a strong fish pulling tool that
You've got to be careful feeding it. You can get too many fish in your peg, can't you? But
massively, that's what we should be touching on. So my next bait is maggots. I've got some beautiful fresh maggots here from Willy Worms. I tried to bring with me, Rob, 3 pints of maggots, right? We're going to potentially be feeding aggressively today. So for me, the best catch everything bait is a maggot. I love the activity of a maggot. If you're on a venue where the fish are really small, so like there's loads of little 1 ounce roach, 2 ounce roach, I believe that maggots can actually be detrimental. So when I've been fishing, say I went to Meadowlands, and at Meadowlands I felt that maggots were great for drawing fish into my peg, but if I wanted to then catch the bigger fish, I needed to change over to casters. So I love to bring maggots with me. I'll try to fish maggots for the majority of the day, but if I want to change the stamp of fish, I always bring with me a pint or 2 of casters. Now, it may seem strange to a lot of people, right? It may seem strange to a lot of people to say, well, why have you brought maggots and casters? Surely you'll just fish casters there or maggots there. But I can't tell you how important it is to chop and change these. Like, I've done this a lot, and I've shared this with a few of my friends, and I believe that when I'm feeding casters, I can focus on that bigger stamp of fish at times and get away from the smaller fish. But so many times it's almost like casters are a bit dead. Do you understand what I mean? They go in, they sink to the bottom, and that's it. That's why the small fish go away. But if I'm in a line of people feeding casters on a venue that doesn't really have those problems, the activity of maggots is a bigger draw to the fish. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Obviously, I'm looking at what you've got here, and you've touched on it already about the commercial national. I know that this is going to work in any size of match. You know, your local opens, your midweek opens, your club matches, you know, where you maybe get a bit more space along the bank.
Well, a lot of those club matches are tightly pegged, Rob. It works brilliantly. But I know what you're going to say now with the commercial national. A
big match where there's pressure on the bank, and we've seen it a lot in the big qualifiers that we've fished over the years. Big qualifiers, natural baits do ever so well, because
they really do.
The match is a totally different match to your normal match, your normal open on any particular venue, and that's where natural baits come into their own, because they've just got that extra pulling power that maybe a pellet or some corn or those sort of commercial style baits, they just haven't got the same pulling power of these baits.
You're so right. On the commercial national, this lake had every single peg in, Rob. So that's when it would have been 90%, nine times out of 10, it would have been the maggot. Use the most attractive bait you possibly can. Live maggots, that is why I believe they are an edge. I don't bring any dead maggots with me. Casters are almost doing that job for me.
I think for what you're doing, ideally you'd like to catch on the bottom, wouldn't you?
That's why, absolutely, I'm trying to catch on the bottom. And
it's going to be, what, 3, 4, 5 foot deep. I think a dead maggot, it sinks too slow. And you can't, if you want to feed by hand, you can't feed them accurately enough. It's not the same, is it?
I totally agree. But my brolly was there to keep them dry for the rain.
Okay, so there's no more secrets.
You can have a look. There's no more secrets there. Yeah.
That's the bait. Pretty simple. Talk to me about the rigs. So I've seen you have a quick plumb up.
Yeah. I'm obviously going to plumb up for the guys.
Your roost. Talk to me about the rigs you're using.
So rigs are, again, I like to keep things nice and simple, but everything that I'm doing at the moment, Rob, whenever I use natural baits, a rig that I absolutely love is what I'm calling a tapered bulk. All right, and it's what I've been doing, and I've been keeping everything really simple by doing it. Now, the thing is with a tapered bulk, I've shown this rig before, and when I talked about it, I said, I shot on the hook length 6 inch, 5 inch, 4 inch, 3 inch, 2 inch, right? That's great. That's a really nice steady fall, but that's going to be too negative at times today. We need to get the bait down faster. So I've got 2 rigs set up, both with a tapered bulk, but this particular rig has got 5 inch, 4 inch.
Is it?
It's a bit tighter. It's a bit
this
tighter.
is your tighter rig.
This is my tighter rig.
Oh,
so
okay.
this starts at 5-inch gap for the first shot, then 4-inch, then 3-inch, 2-inch, 1-inch.
Right.
So
I
by
was expecting this to be your loose one and everything else to be a little bit tighter, but I'm guessing you're not too concerned about. You're trying to catch probably from this down here, are you?
massively
when it's
the
going
fish,
through the water.
the fish, and we'll talk about this more when we're fishing. The bigger fish are having the bait as it settles. If you race the bait down or rush this method, you will be a busy fool catching the wrong stamp fish. Now, if I want to tighten this rig up, Rob, I might move this 4-inch, 3-inch, 2-inch. Do you understand what I mean? If it was a massive match, I might even set this rig up a bit bigger. So it's not very deep. 42 inches on my thing. What's that in old money? 1, 2, 3.5 foot. And this is a 414's F1 maggot. Now, this will be the rig that I'd like to catch on today. Okay. All right, this will be the rig that I'd like to catch on. It's got so effectively the box from about halfway. If I want to tighten it up, like I've said, I might do. And this is the rig that I'd love to catch my fish on. It's positive.
Main line?
The main line is 018.
Okay, elastic?
11 hollow in this.
And hook length and hook, please.
012 to a 16 SFL. Now, 012 to 018 might surprise a lot of people. But if this turns into bigger fish carp, I might have to change this hook length to 014. Maybe even 016 if it's at a bumper day. I need a durable main line because it's a very busy method. This is going to be rubbing against my landing net.
Hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I need that durable main line. I don't want a main line that's going to let me down, which is why I've got 11 hollow in this rig. I might have to change this down to 9 hollow. This is my, we're cooking on gas rig.
If you love your fishing and you want to get better at fishing and catch more fish, why not subscribe to our website, The Edge, www.anglingedge.co.uk. There you will find feature-length videos, detailed videos showing you how to catch more fish. You can also join our members section. Really easy, the members section on YouTube. Click to join, you'll get access to all of those feature-length videos.